to the entrance to Gem's nursery.
Yeah, so we were blessed with long staircases as soon as you enter. So what we thought we'd do with it is use it to showcase our work. So we've got a wow wall, so we have all of our children's work, and when parents come in, they can kind of see what their children have been doing. And on the other side, we've got our forest schooling. So forest schooling is a really core part of Gem's nursery.
Yeah.
And we're so blessed and lucky to have a forest school just like a stone throw away. So just like literally, I'm going to say 2-minute walk just up the road, one straight walk. We've got this beautiful forest called Scotswood Gardens.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and it's got a beautiful, like I said, a forest with a school inside of it. It's got all of the mud kitchens and nature. It's got beehives. It's got a little pond thing going on. It's just got so much, and our kids absolutely adore it. They love forest school. Rain or snow, we're at forest school. We're building dens. You know, we're doing so much. We're out in the nature. It's really a core part of what we believe at Gems. A lot of people are apprehensive when it comes to bad weather and stuff. We just did a lot of education with the parents, bringing them in, talking them through it, talking them through the importance and, you know, why it's really, really important that kids do get dirty, they get their clothes dirty, messy, jump in these muddy puddles, but it's such a foundation part of Gems is our forest schooling.
How often do you get to go?
So we go at the very, very least, twice a week or 3 times a week. So sometimes, yeah. So we'll definitely take all of our children down all the time. So these are our community visits, and this is this year. So we took last year's ones. Yeah. So we took last year's ones down, and we've just started again this year. So we're only in November now, and you can see we've already got so much we've done in November. It hasn't even been 6 weeks, and we've been to the post office, and we were so lucky to have an actual postman who is like coincidentally collecting the mail at the time, but they got to meet him, and you know, it was really exciting for them because obviously they've got postman Pat, so to kind of make that connection, they actually posted letters out to their parents. So they wrote letters, they sent it out to their parents, they posted it, and then they were there to receive it on the other end at home. This is the letter that I posted. Yeah, it was great. So they managed to receive them at home, and they got to do that. We went to the Gurdwara for Diwali, and we got to see, it's so beautiful. The Newcastle Gurdwara is so beautiful. And shout out to Jazz, he's just the best host ever. It was such a beautiful insight. Like, we just learned so much. We learned so much about the culture, the religion, and it's such a community hub. Like, they've got a 24-hour kitchen. Whenever anyone goes, you can get a hot meal any time of the day. Like, all our kids, because you see, they all got dal and roti, and they got such nice food. And they just really like took so much away from it spiritually. You could just feel like a really nice, calming zen when we went. Yeah. We've got St. James's Park, so we've been really lucky to do a tour of St. James's Park football stadium down the road. We've got the farm, we've got Brookhouse Care Home, so that's just across the road from us. And again, like I said, we don't just do like a one-off visit and that's it. We do believe in building them bonds and them connections just to keep it going, you know, creating a weekly, bi-weekly, you know, having the back and forth, you know, they write letters to each other and things like that. I think it's just really important that it's not just a visit, it's embedded and it's a relationship built, a bond built. We're trying to get them to come with us to our forest school because the forest school is opposite the road to the care home, so if we can try to facilitate visits where we do the forest schooling together and they come with us there, and it'll be great. So we're looking into try to do that. We've got a bakery across the road, so we've got Jasmine Canapé Chow, amazing. We all have our lunch there all the time, very addictive food. Desserts are amazing too. And yeah, so we went there, we did a healthy eating thing, we took our children, they've got their lovely little you know, learn to be bakers but in real life, so they got to explore. They got all their aprons and stuff on. They got to explore what it's like to be in a bakery, to run a bakery. They got to explore what it's like to create on order, you know, like make something on order. They made little fruit pots. So when the children come in, what we have is self-attendance. We try to encourage them to kind of, so they come and they choose their pictures from our little, we've got a little treasure box because they're gems. Oh, that's so cute. Those little touches. So, yeah, the little touches. So they come and they take their name and they learn that they're in the Emerald class and they go stick their little faces on their little names, and that's how we know that they're here. Yeah. Which is great. Again, one of the things that we're doing for the community. So our Ruby, so Andrea, who you've just met, and one of our other members of staff are fully qualified. They've done the course, which is our first word together by the National Literacy Trust. Yeah. And it's a community-based project for mums with babies. It's not just for nursery staff, but it's amazing that we're able to merge the two. So we've opened it to the public. So on Tuesday mornings, I think it's about 10:30, anyone and everyone from the public, mums from the public, they come in. So all of our children then go to forest school at that time. So they come in with their babies and they get to do this first words together.
Really good.
So we get to, if there's any mums that are struggling with their babies, wondering how to play, interact, get their words out, help them with the sounds, with the rhythms, you know, just really educate mums on how to stimulate and support that baby learning. Our qualified staff now, because they've done the training, then pass that on to the whole community. So it's not just our children's parents, it's open to the whole community. Again, this is what I was mentioning earlier. We've achieved our communication friendly setting status, which is, there's only 5 in the whole of Newcastle. Nurseries that have done that, and a lot of them are a lot older. We're still babies and newbies in the nursery world, and yet this was so important. It was one of the first things that we wanted to get done as soon as we had the opportunity. This was the fact that we've done the EEE. So the Nelly schooling, we embarked on the Nelly school journey, which is about, again, a Nelly schooling is a curriculum, a lot about communication. It's funded by the DFE, so it's really, really good curriculum. I'd really encourage it, but we were part of that too. Math Champions is coming soon. We've enrolled on that, and in February we'll be starting that. So again, that's a really, really elite program, teaching children, or teaching our educators how to work with the children and really incorporate math into their learning. So so this is where parents will kind of come in, they'll sign in, and then they get to have a look at their routines. Just before we get there, a lot of our pictures have fallen off now because we're switching them around, but I just wanted to bring to you that one of the things that are really important to us at GEMS is our screen. Like, I know a lot of people don't have maybe the budget for it or the finances for it, but our touch screen monitor is something that really brings the learning to life and helps us incorporate technology. It gets the kids moving. We've got a little projector thing, so when the kids do the dancing, I'll show it to you when you get in, but this is kind of seeing it in action. So when we're teaching about mini beasts, they found the beasts in the forest in their real habitat. They came back, they did lots of arts and crafts around it and activities, and they even saw on the TV, they were able to go touch which one was which one, and, you know, got them out and about. So I'll take you into the nursery. So this is a little bit of our baby space, but a little bit all about me, if you can blur it out, but this is all of our cultures that we've got, and we ensure that our cultures are being represented in their speech, in their food, in their clothes. Every week we have a Culture Friday, so somebody comes in from, like, so maybe one of the parents, Bengali parents, one of the Pakistani parents, anyone from any of their cultures, they come in, the mums, the parents, the dads, whoever, and they speak in their language. They'll sing a song or do a dance from their community, from their culture. They'll wear their cultural clothing. They might bring a little bit of a nibble. Like we had the Bengali Culture Day. We had lots of Bengali food. We had some pakoras. We had dal bhat. We had all of that going on. All the kids loved it, really, really enjoyed it. So it's a really way that we can share our cultures, and the kids get to know and explore their friends and their cultures too. So it's great to them.
So what are your aims for this area?
So it's just to allow babies just a private space for them. We actually encourage babies to stay in the main room as much as possible, but it's just when it can get sometimes really, really full on, and we think they need a bit of space of their own, especially when they're crawling and things like that. They've just got this small carpeted area that's just for them, where they can crawl and they can climb, and it's all their aged books and their things for them. But a lot of the time our babies are in the main room with the older children, doing activities with the older children, you know, playing, seeing the facial expressions from the other children. They learn from their peers more than staff sometimes. So we really, really have the babies in the main room quite a lot. So this is just a little bit of our den. It's like a blackout room, so we use it as our calm corner. You can see there's lights and stuff inside as well, so kids can have a little sleep in there too, but they can also have a calm down time out moment. We've got a sensory box we give them when they're inside there. They have a little sensory box when they're in there to be able to just to take a time out when things get a bit overwhelming. So we've got these little timers that all our staff keep, and it's to give pause and give children 10 seconds to respond. So when you're training yourself, especially me, I talk so fast, when you're training yourself, I speak very fast and I don't give them a chance to respond, so I just put it on and really just start getting used to. That was 10 seconds, now they can respond, and everyone can get to one, and just helps them get into that moment until it comes to them naturally. So we try to do these little things to make it easier for them. So this is where, you know, where they do their cars and things like that. This is our screen that I said, this is a centre point, I believe, of all of their learning. So it does look like it's got a bandage on. Sorry, this is
the preschool area.
Yeah, so this is our preschool area, but we do a lot of crossover. We don't believe in like confining people to specific areas. So we're doing an activity here, it might be for the older kids, but the little ones want to come along by all means, it's free flow. A little bit of a baby changing area. We do a little bit of math over here. This is our dedicated role play space. So we've got a bit of a winter wonderland theme going on at the moment. This is our kitchen space. Role play is a big part of our curriculum. We've got our little supermarket. So a lot of the times we try to build on the learning. We take the children through the journey of going shopping. So the actual stuff, like, does it, like, it's actually got the, you know, like if you buy, for example, the carrots, you have to make that connection, the carrots.
Orange carrot.
Carrots, orange carrots, and then you have to pay for it. You scan it, and then you have to pay.
1 point.
You know, and then they learn exactly how much they have to pay for what. And once they've bought their groceries, we make them take it to the kitchen and cook it for us.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like follow up, so they get the whole, yeah. And then we've got, like I said, our doctor station. Somebody's been injured at the moment, so I think they've been taken off. But our doctor station, again, really getting into the spirit. And our construction. And tell you what, this is a big hit with the girls, and I love it. Yeah. Really, really encourage it. Our girls get in there with their bricks and their hammers and their screwdrivers. I just think good women power, but definitely a big hit with our girls. Because people think it's very, you know, for the boys, but it's actually not. A lot of our girls are in there fixing things, Bob the Buildering things. And to be honest, a lot of the times we get them to fix things. So like this leg comes loose, you can see.
Yeah.
But we intentionally get the children to flip it on its head. How do we tighten it? Get them to tighten the legs and twist it to screw it and tighten it so they feel like they fixed it. So we show them, oh, that's a bit wobbly. How can we fix it? And we turn it over and we do a whole fix it. So they really feel like they fixed it. Now, this is kind of where they eat, or their activity table. Again, they do a bit of climbing here. This is a bit of our feelings. So when we do a circle corner, we do have a little basket here, which is where, you know, we kind of have our feelings. We talk about our feelings, our little monsters, how we feel today, why we're feeling that way. And then they get to talk, you know, what monster makes them feel which way and why. Now, sometimes if they don't want to say the word, they can just point at the word. Not feeling too good. I really encourage them to use their faces to do it, and we use our faces to do it. So, for example, we've got like the stairs, which is a part of the dollhouse. You know, the dollhouse. But what we do is we've got the toys, the ramp, to show that actually we show her. Oh, do you think she'd find that hard? How is she supposed to climb these steps? And we kind of, oh, maybe let's find a different way. I think we could do something else. Look at this one, it's a ramp. And so do you think if we do it this way, she'll be able to get up better? I think it's important that we should have ramps everywhere so everyone can get up better, and just to really build that on that learning and understanding of everyone's different, but we have to support each other through it. We have to help and facilitate each other on their learning. So we try to make sure like a lot of our things are inclusive, like all of our toys and our resources and stuff.
That's why I think where GEMS is different. You really try to get a deeper understanding, a deeper learning in every activity.
Every activity, just every opportunity, because you've got to make every what's it called? There's a saying, make every connection count or make every interaction count. Yeah. But you really do have to really maximize on that, because there's so many children all the time. So she looks like them, and then she's got a little headscarf and stuff, but we have like all of our costumes and things like that. We all try to make sure all of our dolls and things are
inclusive too.
Inclusive. They're representing.
It's a secret area.
This is our secret. It's all glow in the dark, and it's all got like UV lighting. You know, the UV light hits it and it comes to life. So this is like the little sensory closet.
This is wow.
It's wow. It's really, and there's like
about a lot.
Yeah, they've got a little pot.
Oh, it's got jellyfish as well.
Yeah. Come on. And we've got like little pots where they have little torches on them. Yeah, so they've got a little basket of torches, which are UV torches, so they can go around and see the planets. And then, like I said, when the light hits it, because it's all UV, if you look there, it's all UV sprayed on top. Yeah. It comes to life. So when they use their torches, it's not just like painted on. It's actually got that black light UV effect to it, so it's all comes to life with their little torches.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they love exploring in here. So thank you for coming. Our little nursery. We haven't shown you the outside, but it's dark, so we can't show you outside, but outside's beautiful too. And that's it.
No worries, thank you for having me, and send my love to Andrea as well.